Hello, people of the internet. This is Shaky Jake, and I really need a catchphrase. You are watching Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 The Sith Lords with the restored content modification. Last time on KotOR 2, we converted Atton and Mira into Force users, and they can now use the Force at any given time, which is marvellous. And we also basically resolved all of their personal side stories as well, so their backstories before the events of the game, which is awesome. And you might be thinking, why am I still on Nagasadao when I said that last time I was actually going to leave the planet? It's actually because of these two reasons. I've actually got a couple of side quests that I haven't actually resolved yet. So I'm going to do those very quickly before I talk to Mandalore and then make a quick detour to Dantooine before I get started with the main focus of this episode. Yeah, I'm standing with Gida, don't trouble her anymore. The exchange threat doesn't really matter anymore because we've already dealt with them. So that's one of the quests done. And I have off screen, as you may have noticed, I've got different weapons now. And these look much better from the point of view of they actually look like typical Star Wars blasters. But then you actually look at how much damage they do. 12.36 damage, or 1236 damage, and 616 damage. I upgraded these guns to a ridiculous amount because of how many upgrades I could give them. So I don't actually have to worry about upgrading anymore because I think I'll have more than enough power in my blasters for the rest of the game, or at least I hope I do. Oh, and getting this recording to start was really irritating, and I'll tell you why. For some reason, OBS didn't want to communicate with KotOR 2. It just came up with a black screen. It was picking up the sound okay, but it just couldn't do anything else. And it took me, I kid you not, 10 to 15 minutes to get this picture to work. But yeah, I had to spend 10 to 15 minutes trying to diagnose what was going on with OBS. And I still don't know what's wrong with it, because there's literally no reason for it to be not working. I've tried a few things and it just wouldn't communicate properly. So I have this horrible feeling that KotOR 2 is going to become a problem to record again. And I'll keep an eye on it because I need to. But I really don't want to have to cancel this particular Let's Play when we're getting fairly close to the end. Oh, we're closer to the end. We've still got another planet to go and we've still got a few other things to do, like the end game. But I don't want to stop it this far in when I know I can get the game done. And I don't want it to be stopped because OBS is just not working properly with KotOR 2. I know I've had the occasional comments on my videos where people have been like, oh, I can't get it to work with KotOR, can you tell me why? And I never quite sympathised with these people until it started happening to me. Because I had to switch from Shadowplay to OBS during the first game, and I was hoping I wasn't going to have any more problems, and now that OBS is deciding to be annoying, I've had problems. I tried switching the frame rates and everything, and it was just being stupid. So, actually, before I go to Dantooine, I need to trigger 2 unique lines of dialogue from, or 2 sections of unique dialogue from Mandalore.
I want to have a word with you.
What is it?
I wanted to make sure that we have some things clear. Right now, we both seek the same goals. Whatever our reasons may be, the Sith must be stopped. If they destroy the Jedi, the Republic will fall and my people will be eradicated or enslaved. To survive, I'll help you. But as Mandalore, I have another duty. The unification of the clans.
I know, that's why we found some Mandalorians on Nagasadao. Even if you could find them all, would they follow you?
After our defeat at Malachor, the survivors spread across the Outer Rim, many taking up work as mercenaries, or worse. But they cannot have fallen so far that they will not recognize a new Mandalore has been chosen. One who will restore our people to glory. I'll fight beside you, but I'm warning you, don't get in my way. I'm not asking for help. I'm just asking you to let me do this. Cross me, then I might have to reevaluate our arrangement.
Is that a threat?
Of course it's a threat. Get in my way, it'll be something more. After the Sith are dealt with, you can turn your attention to us. Or maybe we can forge an alliance of our own. Our next battle need not be fought against your Republic. Consider what I've said. Now, is there something else you needed?
See, I like the idea that the Mandalorians and the Republic can work together, at least for a time anyway, because at some point in the Star Wars galaxy's history they become enemies again. One more conversation with Mandalore before we go to Dantooine and find the remaining Mandalorians.
I have questions for you.
Depends on what the questions are.
You fought with Revan and Malak during the Mandalorian Wars. Why?
They were the only Jedi who realised that the Republic would fall without the support of the Jedi.
Huh. We'd never faced Jedi before, and didn't know the threat they represented. You've always been in the Jedi Order. Things that are common knowledge to you are rumors and stories to the rest of the galaxy. We only knew what we had seen in holovids and from our experience with Exar Kun, and by that time, he was completely a Sith. We thought we would triumph easily over such noble and compassionate leaders. Those are weaknesses we easily exploited in the past. What did you think of us?
Strong warriors and worthy adversaries.
And that is how we thought of you. Not of the Jedi in particular, but the men and women who joined Revan and Malak to fight against us. You turned a demoralized, defeated mess into a coordinated army. You brought tactics, backbone, and above all else, victory to them. Ever consider what would have happened if we'd won? The Sith would have been nothing more than a border skirmish against the might of my clans. We would have brought a new age of strength and expansion to the Republic, with a wealth of the core worlds providing arms and warships to fuel our growth. Instead, the Republic won. Look around you. Look at what your precious victory has brought you. I ask you this, is the galaxy better off for the Republic's victory?
Of course, the Mandalorians couldn't run the Republic.
I suppose we'll never know. Now, is there something else you needed?
And that's it. So, there shouldn't be any more.
Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah, we're back to that. Right, now we're going to head to Dantooine very quickly before I actually head to Korriban, because I want to finish the whole finding the Mandalorian stuff off. So, Dantooine, you're up here. It also gives me a good chance to show off how I've modified Dantooine with a particular graphics mod, which I deliberately kept for later on in the game. I didn't want it to be the first look at Dantooine because I kind of wanted to show off some kind of growth between times. So, you know, when you go to Dantooine, first of all, it looks really horrible, and then when you come back to Dantooine later on, it actually looks somewhat nicer than it did. So I'm going to show you that as well whilst we're here. And I'm still really irritated that OBS was playing up with this game. I still don't know why it was doing it. But oh well, I'm hoping that isn't going to become a common theme with the rest of the recordings, because otherwise I'm going to grow even older before my time, and I don't want that to happen particularly. I don't want to get stressed out by a recording setup. Okay, Mandalore, we'll take you. Oh, and it also gives me a chance to show off some dialogue I missed out on last time. And here we go. Here's a slightly modded Dantooine. You can see the textures have got a bit more high resolution here. There's actual depth with the terrain here. And the grass has now been changed to a more pleasant summery green colour. And here we go. Here's the modified Dantooine. For some people, you might not be able to tell the differences, but it does look a lot nicer than the original game. So you'll see this throughout the rest of the Let's Play now, if and when we have to come back here. First of all, let's just drop in here.
What's wrong?
Oh, and I'm going to take Mandalore's repeating blaster rifle away from him, and there's a reason for that, which you will see when we fight the Mandalorians. And even the inside of all the modules have been modified, so it looks really good actually. I quite like this. So there's some remains here. Right, awesome. Dopak, you're the guy we forgot to talk to.
It was pretty brave of you to stand up to Azkul like that. Your resolve made me finally take action against him.
What will you do now?
I plan to leave Dantooine with as many of my men as will come with me, and look for some work that is more honorable than wholesale slaughter of civilians.
Thank you for joining me in the battle. Your aid made the difference between success and defeat.
I'm happy to hear that. I really am. Thanks again, and good luck to you.
Okay, we gained light side points for that.
Thanks again, and good luck to you.
And nobody wants to talk to us, I don't think.
You are always welcome here, Jedi.
Yeah, nothing here.
Thanks for your help with the mercenaries. I hope someday I'll be able to return the favor.
I'll be going. And as you can see, looks much higher resolution now texture-wise. So I always put this mod in, normally on my playthroughs, but I figured seeing as I was doing a let's play for it, I kind of wanted to show that Dantooine actually improved over time. And that's why I withheld using this mod until later on in the game, just to give it some sort of sense of progression. And I won't be able to do that with any other planet in the game, so here you go. Right, so the reason I've removed Mandalore's repeating blaster for a short while is because the Mandalorians that you encounter here aren't as easy to recruit as the last lot from Nagasadao. And whilst we're here, I am actually going to buy some more Lightsaber Crystals, so let's talk to you.
I heard you were responsible for driving the mercenaries off this rock. I've still got some Jedi junk left to sell. Assert.
We're going to buy a few more things, so I'm going to buy this crystal, which is a lot of money actually. I might actually just buy all the crystals that do something, because they'll actually be useful later on, and it's not as if I'm going to regret spending money on crystals. And we want this purple one, definitely. Do I want all these? I probably do, but it's quite expensive. Right, we'll buy that. We'll buy some of these anyway. Yeah, that'll do. I've basically gone down money-wise, but it's not as if I'm going to be spending much more in the rest of the game. So I'm not too bothered. Now let's go and take on these Mandalorians and see if we can recruit them to Canderous' cause. Mandalore, you can introduce yourself to him.
Look who's walked into our camp, boys. Mandalore himself has come to visit us.
I am the new Mandalore. I have reclaimed Mandalore's helmet, lost after our defeat at Revan's hands. Assemble the rest of your clan. You will return to Duxon. We must come together as we were before and prepare to fight a new war. A war that will return us to glory.
And if I take that helmet from you, guess that makes me the new Mandalore. I've always wanted to be called that. I know all about your exploits, Mandalore. We have fallen far in the past years, but even still, I will not stand idly while a usurper claims to be my leader.
It is unfortunate that you feel that way. Perhaps I'll be able to change your mind. Stay out of this. This is my fight.
Okay, now in the original game, before the restored content mod, everyone in the party fought this guy, so it was actually a very easy battle. Now, we're actually going to do it the way it was intended, which was only Mandalore takes this ESOC character on. And there's not a lot I will say here, so I'm just going to let Canderous punch this guy to death. Now, this is the reason why I've removed his weapons, because I get the sense that if Canderous was going to have a fight with a fellow Mandalorian, he would do it with honour, as opposed to just doing it the cheap and easy way. But we're overpowered anyway, so ESOC's going to go down. We're not taking much damage, so we're absolutely fine. Let's just put a Master Power Attack in there just to vary it up. And apparently that wasn't much different. Let's just put a few more in. Yeah. I'm glad that the restored content mod made this change though, because it makes more sense than having the entire party attack it.
Any other takers?
No, Mandalore. We will follow you.
Good. I have no desire to spill any more Mandalorian blood today. Gather your clan and return to Duxon. You have seen the last of your mercenary days.
Yes, Mandalore.
Yay, we're going to go from one grassy planet to another grassy planet. And we gained influence with Mandalore, which is awesome, and we briefly saw my Exile's head disappearing from sight there, which is a fun little bug with the KotOR engine, because that always happens if a party member isn't yours and then they become yours, and you know, it happened in the first game as well, so it's not unique to just this one. Okay, we're done. Let's get off Dantooine and play through what we're actually meant to, which is Korriban. I'll see you there. I've just upgraded a few lightsabers whilst I was on the Ebon Hawk, and now we can focus on... oh, and there's Mira with her lightsabers, very briefly. Right, let's head off to Korriban then, because I've been looking forward to this planet for quite a while, and it's actually one of my favourites in the game, bizarrely, despite how short it is. Let's go!
We've hit the ground. This is Korriban. Why would one of the Jedi you're looking for come here?
An adequate job, pilot. Perhaps here there is some trace of those who pursue us. I sense that we may be truly alone on the surface.
There are signs of life on the surface. Beasts by the dozen. So don't worry, you won't be quite as lonesome as she makes out. You might want to keep your, lightsaber sharp. Or do whatever you do in these situations.
Although I think that the pilot's mechanical devices are probably accurate. If there are Sith here, their numbers are few and they are hidden.
It seems quiet. Just the wind. But deep beneath the surface, you can feel the pain of what took place here. This place merely tolerates sentience walking upon it. It is pleased to have been left alone. There is great power here for those with the ambition to use it. There is great power in this place, for those who can hear its call.
There is much that would draw a Jedi to this place. The resting grounds of the ancient and more recently departed Sith contain many teachings believed lost. The most likely place to find our lost Jedi is the ruins of the old academy.
Couple of dialogue there that didn't have any animations related to them, so those might have been cut dialogue originally, I'm not sure. What happened here?
It was said that Revan intended to return to Korriban to subdue any potential Sith insurgents, but Revan disappeared. It took a year or two for the Republic to send a force here to deal with any Sith that may have remained. They found Korriban much as we have, barren and lifeless. It was assumed that the remnants of the Sith turned on each other, vying for what little power remained. The Republic found evidence that several Sith Lords escaped Korriban, fleeing to remote sections of the galaxy.
Do you think there are any living Sith here?
As lifeless as it seems, the dark side is very strong here. The Sith Lords would not ignore such a powerful place. There is much that can be learned, even here. You should go to the ruins of the old academy. If there are any traces here of Sith, that is where they would be.
What happened here?
It was said that Revan intended to return to Korriban to subdue any potential Sith insurgents, but Revan disappeared. It took a year or two for the Republic to send a force here to deal with any Sith that may have remained. They found Korriban much as we have, barren and lifeless. It was assumed that the remnants of the Sith turned on each other, vying for what little power remained. The Republic found evidence that several Sith Lords escaped Korriban, fleeing to remote sections of the galaxy.
Do you think there are any living Sith here?
As lifeless as it seems, the dark side is very strong here. The Sith Lords would not ignore such a powerful place. There is much that can be learned, even here. You should go to the ruins of the old academy. If there are any traces here of Sith, that is where they would be.
Let's head out then.
If you walk Korriban's surface, you shall walk it without me.
In the same way that Atton doesn't visit Duxon, Kreia doesn't visit Korriban. Why won't you come with me?
I cannot. This place is strong with the dark side. it is difficult to center myself here. Korriban holds few secrets from me, but much that you should learn.
Korriban doesn't look that bad. I'm not afraid.
Perhaps not. But I would caution you to guard your feelings carefully here. Korriban attacks the spirit and the body, and there have been few who can fight its power.
Very well. Stay here and keep the engines primed in case we need to leave quickly.
I will remain here and meditate. Our link remains. I shall contact you and provide guidance when needed. The Academy is on the other side of this valley. Be careful. Dark energy fills these ruins, and even the fallen Sith live still.
Awesome! So, we're now on Korriban. We've got a new journal entry. We're searching for the traces of the lost Jedi in the ruins of Korriban. And yeah, there we go. And as you can see, we've pretty much done most of the game's quests at this point. Even though we've still got quite a bit to do, we've actually completed quite a lot of the game. So, Korriban was one of those planets that I originally didn't like in this game, but then the more I played it, the more I enjoyed it, and it's actually one of my favourite locations, very much like it was in the first game, but for a very different reason. And this is going to be the episode where I talk about cut content again, but we'll save that for later. And here you go, you got Kreia, who we can't use, very much like how we couldn't use Atton on Duxon. But for this, I'm going to use Atton because I haven't used him for a while, and I'm also going to use Visas because she would make sense here. So let's go. Nice cinematic shot of Korriban coming up.
The structures you see around you are the plundered tombs of the ancient Sith Lords. Each tomb was once infused with the history and heritage of the old Sith Empire, containing great mysteries and powerful relics of the Force. However, even the many traps could not long hold back the curious, the fools, and the weak, and so these tombs fell, spilling their secrets into the hands of those unable to comprehend or preserve them.
Again, I love what Obsidian did with the cinematography in this game. And those of you that have played the first KotOR will get a very nostalgic feeling here, because there's no Dredge Day in this game, but you do land in the Sith Academy grounds, the Valley of the Dark Lords, and all the tombs that you visited as Revan in the first game, they're all here once again, only you can't go in them this time, because naturally within the past 5 years the landscape has changed. And that's one thing I really love about games, when you can actually go back and explore how areas and locations have changed. It's one of the reasons why I love Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal so much, because it's a sequel to Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow, and how Pokemon Gold, Silver and Crystal build on those games, where you can go back to the original location 3 years later and you can see how the world's changed during those 3 years. Anyway, I'm rambling, let's go.
This was the tomb of Tulak Hord, known as the greatest lightsaber duelist of the Sith Lords.
Tell me more.
His skill was considered remarkable even in his time, when many true lightsaber masters lived.
Are you saying modern Jedi are poorly skilled with the lightsaber?
If you were to face an ancient Sith Lord in combat, you would learn that we are as children playing with toys compared to the prowess of the old masters.
What made him so good?
That is unknown. But supposedly, he created a holocron to teach his technique to other Sith. The holocron would have been laid to rest in his tomb. Unfortunately, Tulak Hord's tomb was among the first penetrated by the grave robbers of the new Sith Order. If the holocron has survived, I doubt anyone living would know its location.
Interesting, okay. So we can't go in any of these tombs because they've all collapsed, presumably because the Sith took each other out and they caused a lot of structural damage to the actual planet itself. So let's explore a bit more.
The broken corpses before you are all that remain of the Sith on Korriban. I doubt there is much to be gained from looting these bodies. It would be best to leave them be.
Okay, so you don't have to listen to Kreia there. You could just loot the bodies and you get maybe one lightsaber color crystal and a couple of credits or whatever. It's not worth it, honestly, unless if you have the original release of the game where you can constantly spawn enemies called hisses that will constantly attack you, but they're very good for maximizing your experience, and you can get to level 50 just by continually spawning them. Because I've got the restored content mod, that has now been fixed, so you can't do that. It only triggers once. Anyway, let's move on.
This way leads to the tomb of Ajanta Paul, a fierce Sith Lord. According to legend, the blade proved more fearsome than the Master, leading to his demise.
Tell me more.
Ajanta's dark spectre lived on through the centuries until Revan entered the Sith Lord's tomb in search of the blade. Revan calmed the angry ghost of Ajanta Paul and showed him the path back to the light.
And that's what we did in the first game. You sound like you disapprove.
One who has fallen so far and done so much evil does not deserve redemption. In a way, such a turning from one's nature is cowardly, a betrayal of the self.
Bit of foreshadowing there for those of you who can guess how Krea's mind works. No one is beneath redemption, Krea. No one.
Perhaps. But redemption is a form of spiritual collapse, a fall few recover from.
What became of the blade?
Unknown. Some have suggested that the blade led to Revan's demise, as it did Ajanta Paul. That is only speculation, however. Where Revan wanders now is knowledge that only Revan holds.
Okay, light side points gained, and we gained influence with Krea, even though we technically disagree. Couple more tombs to explore, and then we can carry on with what Korriban has to offer. And those of you that played the first game will probably realise that Korriban is a lot scarier in this game compared to the original KotOR.
Before you is the tomb of the great Sith Lord, Marka Ragnos, a half-breed who possessed tremendous strength, both physically and in the Force.
Tell me more.
Ragnos held power for over a century, using his cunning to turn his enemies against each other. His death left a great vacuum of power. We're standing close to the spot where Nagasadao first confronted Ludo Kresh to vie for domination of the Sith. Their struggle nearly resulted in a civil war that would have torn the Sith apart before they ever threatened the Republic.
It sounds like civil wars are common among the Sith.
Yes, it is the way of the Sith. They must continually test their strength against each other, even if it means destroying themselves.
So what happened between Shazado and Kresh?
As fate would have it, a pair of hyperspace explorers from Sinagar landed on Korriban. Nagasadao manipulated the Sith into believing they were a sign of impending Republic invasion. This fear resonated with many Sith who were discontent with the lack of expansion of the Sith Empire during the reign of Marka Ragnos. Thus, Nagasadao became Ragnos' successor.
Okay, and one more tomb before we can carry on. You don't have to go and approach these tombs, I'm just doing it for completionist's sake, and also because it is genuinely interesting to hear what Krea has to say.
Ahead lies the tomb of Nagasadao, successor to Marka Ragnos, and the Sith Lord responsible for nearly conquering the Republic in the Great Hyperspace War a millennia ago.
Tell me more.
More recently, this tomb was where Revan confronted Uthar Vin, the leader of the Sith Academy. When Revan left Korriban, the Sith Academy was thrown into turmoil. With their leader gone, many fought for the right to rule. And so, the Sith here turned on each other, resulting in the carnage you can see covering the surface of this valley.
Awesome. And, yeah, that's one thing I forgot to say about the Sith in the first KotOR. On Korriban, they're pretty much like wannabe Slytherins. They both want power, they're both cunning and, you know, all that stuff. And they're all pretty snobby and almost like rich kids in a sense. And Atton appears to be stuck on the environment. But But yeah, so all the Slytherin-esque Sith Lords here, or Sith students, calling them Sith Lords is a little bit, you know, too nice. They all pretty much killed themselves and fought against each other, even after I wiped the vast majority of them out with Revan in the first game. So now that we've done all that, we can now take on these HK50s, and Visas needs leveling up.
Honor is mine.
No, you know what, I'll save it until Visas actually needs it. Which will probably be very soon.
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities.
Right, is Atton... Yeah, Atton's still got a gun, okay. I want him to have a gun, at least for now, until we get nearer the academy. Because then I'm going to switch him over to a lightsaber and see how he does. Atton, can you aim at any of them? Yes, you can. And I shall use Force Storm with Visas, who I don't think we've used much, actually, in this game yet. So this is going to be relatively straightforward. Oh, I love synchronised death dialogue. Okay, so there we go. They're all down. Nothing of value here. Now, I do want Atton and Visas to be very close to me as I approach the old caves here, because they have unique lines of dialogue. So let's go a little bit closer, very slowly. Come on. You come in.
Ah, what's that stench?
Listen. The wind from the cave tells of great power within. Recently awakened.
Yes, a great, powerful stench.
There is great power and dark energy within this cave. I would advise you to finish your explorations within the academy before venturing into the cave.
Which doesn't make sense from a narrative perspective, as you will see later on. If not in this part, then definitely the next. Okay, let's just get rid of these. See how much damage we do with our 2 new guns. Not as much as I'd like, but it's probably because I'm not using Master Rapid Shot or Burst of Speed or anything. But there we go, they're down. We'll go in the caves later, as suggested. And I've always taken Krea's advice for Korriban. I've never actually gone in the cave first. I don't know if it really makes a difference, but I've always taken her advice. And yeah, if you really wanted to make Korriban a challenge, you'd visit the planet without any party members whatsoever. I'm too much of a coward for that though, so we're not doing that. At least not in this playthrough. Plus it means we'll miss out on loads of cool dialogue. Ah, look at that. That's more like it. Yep, my gunslinger build is doing well again, which pleases me.
This one will fall.
Right, so we're at the Sith Academy now, which is one of the creepiest areas in the entire game. And you'll see why in a moment once we approach it. It's very ominous. Just making sure my party members are nearby because they have comments again.
Looks like somebody left the doors of the academy wide open. I have a bad feeling about this.
This door was left open on purpose. Someone is expecting us.
You can expect more than these beasts within the academy. Be prepared.
Now, that's a different franchise entirely. Unless if Krea wants to start singing Be Prepared, that would actually be amazing. Sith Academy time. Let's see how it's changed since KotOR. Oh, Darth Sion.
Her apprentice is here. Find him.
Lovely. Okay, these guys are going to approach us, so let's deal with them. Right, that wasn't too bad. If we try and leave the Sith Academy, we cannot. But there you go. So we're now in the Sith Academy. As you can see, there's nobody here particularly compared to how bustling it was in the original game. And yeah, when I first played this game many years ago when it was first released, and I was playing it on Windows XP with a big beefy CRT monitor, this was incredibly scary to play through. This is one of the only disadvantages with having a more modern monitor now. It's a lot brighter than it should be, because on my original CRT monitor, the grain combined with how dark the monitor actually was made this incredibly tense. Oh, and these Sif Assassins are going to be a pain, aren't they? Because I made them even tougher. Right, okay, let's see how we deal with them. Although Master Rapid Shot is doing very well. Oh, this ass is down. Fine. Okay, she'll need a level up then. Might as well give her that.
How may I serve?
She actually needs a few, so we might as well do that now. And I forgot that the combat music was still going on. So let's get off this as quick as possible so that doesn't happen for much longer. Because I wish the combat music would stop whenever... yeah, it's always a bit glitchy, the combat music. Right, this ass you can get leveled up again then. So... there we go, that's better. And... yeah, this ass is going to be my dark side character. And she's also fully light-sided now, which makes it even funnier. Yeah, as I said, with my old PC back in the day, this used to be so scary when the monitor was incredibly dark and the Sif Assassins would just sneak up on you. Here it's kind of less scary because of how bright it looks. Yeah, and why is the music suddenly stopped just from me approaching a door? I don't think we can even go through here yet. Anyway, let's try. Oh, we can. Okay, I thought this was a door we had to open up later on. So I imagine at some point Sif Assassins are going to sneak up on us again. Somewhere around here they usually do. And if you look at the map, it's exactly the same. And I think these rooms you couldn't actually go in the first game, so it's quite nice that the Academy's opened up a little bit. Okay, Sif Assassins. I probably should have put Burst of Speed on, but I haven't, so let's just take them out as quick as possible. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Okay, that's... wow, this ass is pretty weak. Okay, no, this is a problem. Oh, this is definitely a problem. Oh, God, okay. Right, take two. Let's plan this a bit better than last time. So, what we're going to do, we'll take these guys out because they're relatively straightforward. The Sif Assassins are going to be a problem though, so we need to be as prepared as possible to deal with them before we die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to level this ass up again, and then I'm going to make sure that we're fully equipped to deal with the Sif Assassins. Because I died for a stupid reason there. So, this ass you can level up. Let's leave that as it is. Give her the exact same powers as before. And yet, even the Sith Academy is a lot more ominous this time around. Now, let's just make sure we've got the suitable gear on. Okay, this ass barely has anything. No wonder she was dying so much. Right, fitness package will do. And... oh, shouldn't I have that? Ah, yes, I probably should. Okay, I need the I need that for more wisdom. This ass can have this, and she also needs gloves that will best suit her. Again, this is more tense to play at night, but as I'm not playing at night, I'm doing this. Okay, we'll give you that because you're not going to be unarmed, and I do want to have a look at that other glove. Where is it gone? The Achani one. Yes, actually that will be useful because I need the dexterity more than the strength. Although that's got more dexterity, yeah, we'll go for that. I was going to go for the Achani gloves, but I don't need the physical particularly. Atten could potentially do with it. Or maybe Handmaiden. You know what, I'll leave it as it is. Okay, now that that's sorted,
how may I serve?
Just say the word.
Let's get shields on, and then I'm going to make a save, because that's what I should have done in the first place. Now then, let's make sure there's no hidden gear anywhere. No, there is not. Excellent. So we're going to encounter some Sif Assassins, and again, if we look at the map, pretty much the same as it was before with a few minor differences. So let's take these two out.
Time to even the odds.
And I forgot to put burst of speed on, but that's not a problem.
Settle this.
Okay, these guys are actually stronger than they should be, but that's because of the weapons I've given them. Yeah, this is actually quite a scary fight now. Normally this is incredibly easy, but because I've made these guys much tougher, they're actually a threat. Put the shield back on.
How may I serve?
This asks you do the same. Right then. We're going to take this nice and slow. So before we go in here, do we want to repeat history again? Should we go the same route we went last time? Let's just go down here for a moment, because I don't think we can make much progress this way. And yeah, you always want to be on edge in case anybody sneaks up behind you. There is a trigger for when these guys actually appear. Okay, this is the former entrance, I believe, to the to Dresde, so we can't go that way. And if we go back, yep, there we go. There's the doors closing. This is when Fall Storm would actually be useful. And I'm actually going to turn Master Speed on before I forget. Now let's take him out with Master Rapid Shot, and hopefully this will do tons of damage.
I shall take this one seat.
Okay. Oh, both of my party members are down, that's a problem. But fortunately, we're tanking this quite well. This is foreshadowing for later on in the game where I'm no doubt going to struggle. But it's good experience either way. And I still need tons of experience before I can level up, so I'm not going to have as good of force powers as I would normally have when I'm playing this, and when I've got an actual lightsaber. Okay, there's more enemies down there. Just try and remember which way is which. I can't go in here yet, can I? No. Right, let's try and tackle the route we went last time. I'm running out of shields, which is a big problem, so let's put some back on. Actually, I'll save that for later, because I'll need that later on in the game. We'll put the... Yeah, we'll put this on, because that'll be good. And Atten can also have the Chani shield. Right, Sif Assassins, come out and face me. Because you know you're going to at some point. Oh, and I forgot to make Atten use his lightsaber, so let's do that. No wonder we're struggling. Right, Atten, you can use a lightsaber for once. I was meant to set that before we entered the Sith Academy, but I forgot because I was distracted by recording. and I'm always making sure that everything is working at the moment because OBS has been playing up today, despite the fact how I recorded the previous part on the exact same day. Oh, okay, we're losing a lot of health. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, please don't tell me that I'm going to die here again. Are you joking, game? Can't believe I'm dying to the exact same Sif Assassins every single time. Okay, this time I'm going to be more prepared. Let's put everything on. We're going to buff ourselves up to a ridiculous amount. Right, if this isn't enough, I don't know what is. If anything, we're probably too buff now, but that's why I'm a Jedi Consular turned Weapon Master. No, not Weapon Master, I was a Watchman, wasn't I? Okay, let's try this again now that we've got effectively buffed. I can't remember which powers decrease the quickest, so I'm just going to put them all back on. Right, that should be... Ah, Master Speed's disappeared now. Okay, put that back on very quickly. Let's see if we die here again, even with all those buffs. Oh, they got them. Oh, they got thrashed. Oh, I really should be using my buffs more. Oh, how did I forget that I was this powerful when I actually used what I've actually got? Okay, even better. We got some random guys' robes. Probably would help actually if we blended in a little bit here. So, as much as it pains me to do this, Atten, you can wear a Jedi robe for a bit. Actually, no, you can't because it's not good on you. That's one thing I'm not a fan of. I don't like changing all of my party members to wearing Jedi robes, mainly because they look ridiculous in them, but also because I just prefer their regular clothes. I mean, in Atten's case, he just looks so wrong in a Jedi robe compared to his ribbed jacket. But that's just me being fashionable, and I'm not exactly the most fashionable person ever. Right. Now that we know we can actually put buffs on, because I somehow forgot that I had that many buffs, we can deal with these fights a lot better than normal. So now that we know where the trigger is, let's just quickly put everything on now. It takes so long to put all these buffs on. Right, we get to the end of here, nothing happens, the Sif Assassins will come here, because this never varies in any playthrough, and let's take them out very quickly. The quicker we take them out, the better. If they stick around for too long, they'll do more damage to us. This ass is almost down, but fortunately we saved her just as she was about to die. And yeah, it's because all of our shields, apart from Atten's, is now gone. We'll save those for a little bit. Okay, I believe it's this way we need to go. There is an optimal route to dealing with the Sith Academy. I don't know if I'm actually doing the optimal route, but I know that we want to explore as much as possible. Right, datapad. These Takuta are going to be a major obstacle in our hunt for Sith holocrons. Alright, that sounds like a reference to the first game. And they've basically taken over the entire academy, which is nice, apart from the Sif Assassins. Why the Sif Assassins are the only ones who don't get hurt by them is interesting, unless if they just have really good control over them. And there's one... Is there one sleeping down here? No, that was just a corpse. And... let's distract you. Oh, Atten. Again, I forgot to give you a lightsaber, didn't I? Let's see how you do with a lightsaber, actually, because I'm curious. Not very well, it seems. But we're probably going to keep Atten with lightsabers permanently, apart from a couple of areas where it might be better for him to use a gun. Oh, there's more of you. Right, we don't actually need the buffs for the Takuta necessarily, we just need them for the Sif Assassins. So what I'm going to do is hope that I can remember where all the triggers are, which I probably won't, because it's been quite a long time since I've played this. Apparently, according to OBS, my encoding is overloaded. I don't really care what you have to say at the moment, OBS, you've caused enough trouble today. Right, orange crystal, which doesn't look that good in this game, to be honest. And I think this was the bed we had in the original KotOR. In the absence of many Sith masters, basic training has been automated. Right, this is actually an important item, so we do actually need this. As indicated by the journal entry, which says that we've discovered a data pad that will help us access the student computer panels. And that's not very far away, so we actually need to go and find that. It'll be somewhere around here. I've put all those buffs on and they've all immediately disappeared apart from Master Speed. That's quite sad. Okay, we don't need them for this though.
More where that came from.
Security failure, probably because I'm in combat. All that just for a construction kit. What a waste. Okay. I forgot how tense the Sith Academy was. It's a fun area though. I do like playing through it. And it's nicely different from the original KotOR where it was teeming with life. And, oh yeah, broken terminal there. This feels like an area where Sif Assassins would spawn. So just to be sure, let's put all the powers on and see if we can trigger any. It's not as if I'm losing many force points for this. I mean, how many have I lost? About 50-ish, that's not too bad. And here we go, Sif Assassins. Knew they'd be around here somewhere. But we took them out with little to no worries. And my party members have leveled up. And Visas could probably do with having more wisdom, so let's do that. Right, let's level everyone up. We need strength for Atten, definitely, because we want to start focusing on that. Let's get treat injury up to 15. Master speed will do nicely, and Visas, you... Yeah, you can have dexterity still, that's not a problem. And those two can be upgraded, and then we'll give you more toughness. Don't think we want anything else for now. Oh, stupid combat music, because of reasons that always plays whenever you pause. And there's going to be more Sif Assassins, I expect, down here. So just to be certain, we're going to put all this on. Okay, just to be safe, I'm going to explore every area, hope Sif Assassins trigger, and then we can carry on. No? Okay, so I've just turned all of those buffs on for nothing. Ooh, Geonosian Electro Staff, that sounds awesome. I don't actually remember that weapon, was that actually any good? No, it's absolutely terrible apart from the fact it's got electrical damage, which probably makes it better, but anyway, this is what we need to do. So I'm going to make a save. The idea is you're meant to go and do research, and you're meant to learn all of the answers. But I think I can still remember them all. So let's see. System commands, disabled. Okay. Enter new recruits. Yeah, I'm not going to memorise that ID. Sorry, there's no way. But fortunately, we do have computer use, so let's do that. Right. Due to the absence of a headmaster, we have switched to an automated training system until further notice. Okay, so the idea is once you've activated your account, you can go to the library and do your research on the Sith, and then you can come back and do this. But let's just open the rooms up, just so we know we can go in them. And yeah, we can't go in the training room, so we have to complete the written test. Oh, good. Higher education. Let's begin the test. So we got 5 questions, and to get to level 2 we have to answer 4 out of 5 correctly. Okay, let's do it. I think this is just going to take... Yeah, we've already got access to that. Okay, begin test. Question 1. Which of the following Sith Lords does not possess a tomb on Korriban? If this was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'd get £100 for this question if I got it correct. So, because we've already talked to Kreia, we know that Freedom Nad does not have a tomb. Oh, a mass question. Okay. Question 2. A number of Sith Lords conducted the burial ritual of the Great Mark of Ragnos. The ritual required all Sith Lords in attendance to be evenly spaced in a perfect circle. Ludo Kresh led the ritual from the coveted 6th position directly opposite Simus in the 16th position. How many Sith Lords conducted the burial ritual? 16, I think. I don't know. Question 3. Which of the following creatures would be least suitable as a pet for a Sith Master? Oh, it's gotta be Gazika, definitely. Which of the following statements is not a paradox for question 4? I'm trying to remember what the answer to this is. It's definitely not number 5. I'm leaning towards I always lie or this statement is false. I always lie? And the path to breaking chains is passion, strength, power, victory. I remember that. We got... Oh yeah, good. We got 4 out of 5 correct. Awesome. So that now means we can access the training room. And we shall head there in a moment, once I've explored everywhere else. Right. Oh, Sif Assassins, and of course they'd come when I'm not buffed. Right, let's take them out as quickly as we can, please. Right. Stun them, this ass. I need you to do your thing.
Say the word.
Okay, it'd be nice if you could attack at them. Right, that was close. I knew they were going to trigger at some point, and I forgot they did it straight after the test. That's quite mean of them. It's also quite Sith-like as well. And what we want to do is we want to access the room that we couldn't access earlier, which is up here. Again, another room that you couldn't actually go into on the original KotOR.
How may I serve?
Right, let's put shields on. And then I'm going to buff ourselves up as much as possible. This is going to be quite a long episode, I think, because there's actually quite a lot to do in the Sith Academy. And there's plenty of things that I'd like to talk about whilst I'm doing it as well. Now, watch as all these buffs disappear by the time Sif Assassins show up. Oh no, we've still got them all. Excellent. Die, please. Oh, that was nicely intercepted there. Well done. Again, this would be much easier if I had lightsabers, but because I'm doing a gunslinger build and a gunslinger run, that's not going to happen. Hopefully nobody else shows up. Thorium charges. And yeah, we could use it here or we could keep it for Duxon. I'm just going to use it here because there's a couple of lines of dialogue that we can trigger. And I'm probably going to forget by the time we go back to Duxon anyway. Yes. Ah, yeah, so this is where you're meant to learn about the Sith, but we're not going to do that. So we don't need to worry about it. But if you didn't know the answers, this is where you'd come. And I can definitely see in this being more tense without party members. I should do a run at some point where it's just my character on my own, because that would be interesting. And yeah, I now want to head towards... Actually, we'll go back this way, because we can break into Uthar Wynn's old bedroom from the original game. And I'll show you what happens there, just out of interest more than anything else. for the sake of completionists' sake. Yeah, this is telling us we can blow up the door. Oh, more Sif Assassins, of course. And even though we're not particularly buffed, we did okay there. And that was easy. They're less of a threat now, which is good. So we'll wait for the combat music to end. Thank you. Right, now this door is interesting because there's something behind it that you can access, but it only really works in one type of playthrough. And I'll explain what that is once we've opened it up.
I'll bet even the Ebonhawk couldn't blast through this door.
A dark Jedi left her impression here. This door has been sealed intentionally.
Okay, let's blow that up then. Oh, that's a serious explosion. Right, nice bit of rubble here. And we get a Sith holocron. Can we access it? The holocron was very recently broken because of us. Now, this actually works if you set Revan to being dark-sided as a result of the first game. And if you do that, then this Sith holocron works and it has a dark-sided Bastila talking. It's quite interesting, but I don't quite understand why a dark-sided Revan would mean this Sith holocron is less it's less likely to get damaged. I never quite understood that, but whatever. I'm not Obsidian. I don't make up weird coincidences and weird circumstances like that. So if you have a light-sided Revan, this Sith holocron doesn't work, but if you set Revan to being dark-sided, then the holocron works. Yeah, I don't know. I just find that interesting. Anyway, we've done all we can round here, so we're actually very close to the end of the Sith Academy now. So we're going to head up towards the area that we haven't explored yet, which is to the right. Yeah, so this was the exit to Dresde from the original KotOR. Right, this is going to be a pain because there's poisonous gas, and no doubt our party members will be stupid and will get caught up in it. Oh, no they didn't, good. But there's Sif Assassins here. Of course there are.
Time to take you down to size.
And we're not suitably buffed for it.
Time to take you down to size.
But it doesn't matter because we've held them off anyway. Oh yeah, and the reason we're here is because we're looking for the last Jedi Master that we need to find, who is in here. But we can't get to her yet because we need to open this door. So I might as well talk about a bit of cut content from the original release of this game, and it's pretty much stayed cut even with the restored content mod. And the original idea for KotOR 2 was there was going to be another planet called M478, I believe it's M478. And the idea with that planet was it was going to be a droid planet. So it sounds like the kind of area where HK-47, T3M4 and Goto would benefit from using. And I'm going to move because the poisonous gas is getting on my nerves. And what you were meant to do was you would go to Korriban first and you would find the Jedi Master on this planet, and she would... Well, or you'd find hints of her on this planet, and then you'd have to go to the droid planet to find her properly. Now, because of time constraints and various other things, the planet got cut. Like most content in this game, it got cut. But I've tried playing this game with the droid planet, which has been faithfully recreated as best as possible from the original source files and the original plot ideas that Obsidian had. I tried playing the game once with M478 in mind, and okay, it's worth playing it through at least once with it, but I wasn't a big fan of the overall mod, and I really didn't like it. And I know that sucks because there's been a lot of modders who put lots of time and effort into M478, but I didn't like it, and I feel that it slowed the game down, and it almost turned me off the game entirely, which I didn't really want. It was a bit like the Brotherhood of Shadow mod that I installed for the first KotOR in my Let's Play for it. I enjoyed it initially, but then I grew to dislike it the more I played it, and it wasn't optimally balanced and all that sort of stuff. The game balancing wasn't there. And it was the same with M478. Technically it was actually balanced from a gameplay perspective, but the planet was too big. You were running around aimlessly looking for different named droids who all looked the same, but they had different names, and it really irritated me because I couldn't remember which droid I was meant to talk to. So it was ambitious. The mod is very good from a technical perspective, but I'm just not a fan of it, so that's why it's not in my playthrough now, and it hasn't been in my playthrough since the one time I did play with it. And honestly, the pacing isn't affected by its omission. And if there's one area that I'm glad Obsidian cut, I'm glad it was the droid planet, because it doesn't really benefit the narrative particularly, at least in my opinion. Okay, let's get back to the game then. We can't do anything here, so we just do the training sequence. Oh, apparently we're doing level 16 training. That's nice. So this is where all the prisoners were kept in the original game, but now they've got starving animals. Animal abuse in cages. Why the Sith would just leave them here, I have no clue. Why they're still alive, I have no clue. And we're actually taking quite a lot of damage here. Okay, just kill them, please. Right, okay, now we can talk to the terminal again. And, yeah. Right, so, command denied. Okay, now, can we... Oh no, there's still one more. No wonder we couldn't actually do anything with the terminal. I gotta say, I thought I'd entered a game-breaking scenario there, but thankfully not. Okay, let's try that again. Is there still another one? Okay, this is a bit of a problem. Normally what's meant to happen is... Oh, yeah, okay, fine. We have to basically break the terminal. Right, so... There you go. I gotta say, I thought normally what was meant to happen was you were meant to take all of the Takuta out, and then the game basically said, oh, you didn't do it quick enough, go to detention and report for disciplinary procedures and all that sort of stuff. That seems to have modified now. I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering. So, let's go and see if our missing Jedi Master is around, and hope our party members are behind. Cool.
Oh, yes. I felt this Jedi's death shortly after we arrived on Korriban.
So this is who we came here to find? Looks like this has been a big, dangerous waste of time.
Okay, if Visas knew that the Jedi Master was dead, why would she not tell us at any point? Doesn't make any sense. That sounds more like something Kreia would do, not Visas. Let's see. Vash was one of the members of the Jedi Council quickest to reject me. And yeah, if you have the M478 mod installed, Vash does actually survive and she sacrifices herself, I think. She either sacrifices herself or she sticks around but doesn't contribute any further dialogue to the endgame. Okay, so here we go. Lana Vash. So she was here looking for the Sith on Korriban. She fell into a trap. She somehow met their leader and knew him long enough to learn his name, which doesn't quite make sense, but okay. But there we go. And we got a double-bladed lightsaber, so we can give that to... well, that means Bayador and Handmaiden can have one each now, so that's excellent. Let's go for the disciplinary action. They'll be along shortly, which they won't because they're all dead. Enter Lana Vash. Let's go. Awesome. So we're going to leave the Sith Academy now. And hopefully not encounter any problems on the way out. But just to be sure, I am going to put shields on. And then I'm also going to put buffs on. And yep, this is definitely going to be a longer part than normal, which I'm grateful for, considering I'm having problems with OBS. I'm hoping that doesn't carry on the next time I start recording, because I don't want to spend another 15 to 20 minutes of my life trying to work through that. Oh, there's people down here. Okay, I'm going to make a save just to be safe. Let's go! Watch as all the buffs just wear off the moment this finishes.
Did you come here for answers? There are none. The call of Korriban is strong, but it is the call of the dead. It is fitting you came here. I have studied you and found nothing but weakness. Yet still she clutches at you, as if you are all that gives her life.
What can I say? I have a pretty positive effect on women. How do you know Kreia?
I know her as an apprentice knows their master, and as a master knows an apprentice.
What do you want with her?
I want her to die, and see all that she has built cast down, all that she holds dear in shards at her feet.
I'd love to say option number 2, but what does Kreia want with me?
She clings to hope that perhaps she can train one as great as her first. She is a fool who escaped death once. She will not do so again.
If you want revenge on her, don't let me stand in your way.
You are a wretched thing. A thing of weakness and fear. You are her apprentice in name only. I am the master. And that is why you will die.
Okay, calm down. We didn't get dark side points for that, which is cool. And we lost all our buffs, so let's try and do this as much as we can without them. Visas attack, Atten attack.
I hear you.
And we're just going to focus on Scion because he's important. Oh yeah, that's a problem, that's a problem. That is a definite problem. Right, we're going to lose all our buffs anyway, so what I'll have to do is put them all back on whilst we're battling Scion. New strategy. I'm going to put everything on, and then I'm going to take out the Sif Assassins as quick as possible. So let's Insanity and Plague them, and then Force Wave the rest of the time, and then Atten can just do some stuff.
How many?
More where that came from. Find the reason we are. More where that came from.
We're going to be doing a lot of the old running away and healing trick, because that's how I fight in these games. Especially now that Visas is dead. So this is going better than last time, so that's good.
Scion. He cannot be defeated. He is not a beast of flesh and blood. This is not a battle that can be won. Flee.
I agree with that. Now you tell me. Anything else you want to share?
There will be another time, but it is not now. Not here, while Korriban runs through him.
She protects him, shields him. Find him, hunt him wherever he travels. He will not escape me again. I will bring his corpse to her, cast it at her feet. It will be as if killing her children. I will kill all she protects, all she shields, until her hands are drenched in blood.
Scion has issues. But there we go. That's the end of this part for now. If we try and go back in the Sith Academy, we can't. But we're going to leave it there for now, because next time we're going to tackle the caves over here, and then finish off with Korriban. because the next part of the game is one of my favourite actual parts of the game in terms of the narrative and what it has to offer. So I'm going to leave that for next time because we've already played through quite a bit of Korriban already. But you'll notice how it doesn't quite make sense that if Sion was going to go and kill us all now, surely he could just leave the Sith Academy and go to the Ebon Hawk and kill everyone aboard and then kill us. But for some reason he doesn't. So that gives us enough time to look in the caves for some reason. I don't know, it's not great writing. There must be a reason why Sion doesn't actually keep attacking us, unless if Kreia somehow locked the entire Sith Academy. But again, it's not too clear. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.